This is the Three Things with your host, Gene Church. In a few minutes, we will get the opportunity to see the final presidential debate for 2020. The Commission for Presidential Debates have torpedoed what little credibility they have. That's not really a problem. They've joined institutions through society, throwing away whatever credibility they had in hopes of stopping the Trump administration from being reelected. They have joined social media, who have used 100% of their censorship attempts against Donald Trump and found nothing worthwhile to complain about with Joe Biden. Or the press, who refuses to address the Hunter Biden scandal or anything negative about the big man, Joe Biden. Or the university system, the liberal bastion of propaganda. Or our intelligence services, who have been willing to go all in to commit a coup against a sitting president. In fact, if you don't know who Tony Bobulinski is, your media sources are corrupt and they are covering for Joe Biden. Tony Bobulinski did more for our country in a 5-minute press conference today than Joe Biden did in 47 years in office. But despite standing against insurmountable odds, President Trump remains standing and undaunted. Let's start this evening looking at President Trump's debate opponents. First, there's the moderator, Kristen Welker. A staunch Democrat, she challenged the anticipated final debate topic, foreign policy, and decided that she would get rid of it altogether and move it to a series of ones straight from the Democrat playbook. Her parents are major contributors to Obama, having given him $20,000 and have given money to Joe Biden's current campaign. She celebrated Christmas at the White House with the Obamas. No surprise, but she's a registered Democrat. And she loves the gotcha questions, like her 2019 question, Mr. President, yes or no? Have you worked for Russia? Yes or no? In 2016, she was caught on live TV tipping off Hillary's communications director about a question she planned to ask in a post-debate interview after Hillary's debate with Bernie Sanders. Kristen Welker has hidden her Twitter account, hoping people won't be able to see her bias before the debates begin this evening. She is an activist and not a reporter. A White House official has said she is no different than dealing with AOC or Pelosi. And count on whiners complaining that anything Trump says against her is because she is a woman or black. That is a key part of the playbook of the liberals. Then, of course, you have the mainstream media. They're already claiming that the debate is completely unnecessary and that any problems with a Biden victory in this debate will be due to President Trump trying to ignore debate rules. Then you have social media, which will be busy today blocking anything that constitutes an opinion or claiming that it's factually inaccurate. Of course, they will repeal their actions as soon as this election is over. Oh yeah, there is Joe Biden, of course. Biden will give his pre-prepared stump speech on the evils of the Trump coronavirus and his claims that Trump destroyed the economy and not his friends in China. Having been given 2 minutes for each segment uninterrupted, it'll be interesting to see if Biden can speak for 2 minutes without putting his foot in his mouth, or whether he'll just stop with time left over. So, what are the topics this evening? Well, Kristen Welker has chosen the following: fighting COVID-19, American families, race in America, climate change, national security, and leadership. As I already pointed out, excuse me, she removed foreign policy as a topic. And knowing that a substantial percentage of Americans will quit watching in the first 30 minutes of the debate, she will front load all the pro-Democrat issues on the front end of the debate. The two candidates are certain to clash over President Trump's management of the U.S. response to the pandemic. President Trump this week renewed his attacks on Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's so-called top infectious disease expert, telling his campaign staff that Dr. Fauci is, quote, a disaster, and that the nation's death toll from COVID-19 would be far higher had he relied on advice from the doctor. Quote, people are tired of hearing Fauci and all these idiots, unquote, the president said. I would count on President Trump coming in with examples where Fauci and other scientists have claimed one thing and then reversed positions and claimed that ultimately the president has to be the one that makes these decisions and not a scientist, because issues as to what to do extend beyond science. President Trump has aimed to highlight foreign policy credentials in the closing weeks of the campaign, and his team has said that the debate was supposed to have been foreign policy focused and has asked for a change in topics. The debate commission said that wasn't the case. But then again, we've already learned that all the Republicans on the committee are never Trumpers and couldn't be believed on a stack of Bibles. Trump likely will take the opportunity to mention that his administration has overseen peace agreements between Israel and 2 Gulf Arab nations, and that the framework has brought 4 neighbors into the peace accord, that he's helped launch Afghan peace talks, and that he's reduced the troop levels in Iraq and Afghanistan. Count on the fact that you'll hear about Hunter Biden this evening. President Trump and his campaign surrogates have promoted stories published in the New York Post citing what the newspaper said were email exchanges with Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. The Post said that the emails were provided by allies of Mr. Trump, who in turn said they received them from a computer repair person who found them on a laptop. There have been emails from the laptop verified by Fox News and the Wall Street Journal. An email said to be sent to Hunter, apparently describing a meeting between his father and an executive at Ukrainian energy firm Burisma Holdings, and on whose board Hunter Biden served, will likely also be referenced. Also, count on Trump referring to Biden as the big guy, a term used apparently to describe Joe Biden in an email negotiating payments for Hunter Biden and his father through China. We've heard a little bit about that with the Bobulinski press conference, and count on the fact in the next few days we'll hear more. Tonight, President Trump will pummel Joe Biden on the Hunter Biden scandal at every opportunity he can get, seeing Biden's character as a significant campaign issue. The press has largely refused to cover it, and yet there is real interest among the American people as to what is involved in this issue. I suspect that both candidates will come prepared to discuss their particular issues. Pop the popcorn and look forward to an interesting show tonight. We will talk again next Monday, and we'll have an opportunity to reflect on the results of this evening. For the 3 Things, I'm Gene Church.